Hey everybody, Joe here. We've got a little bit of news as you can see on the screen. This is coming from, what is the name of this publication? Rest of the World. So let's take a look at this. They're claiming that Iran has crippled Starlink and why the rest of the world should worry. The service became synonymous with censorship, proof connectivity. Iran has just proved that assumption wrong. So let's take a look at this article here. I'll move it over here so that I'm still speaking directly into the microphone. All right, so Iran is systematically crippling Starlink, the satellite internet service said to be almost impossible to jam. Military grade GPS jammers deployed since January 8 have cut satellite internet performance by as much as 80% in parts of the country. So there's still 20% functioning. Okay, so that's not crippled, but it's not great. According to Amir Rashidi, director of digital rights at the Mian Group, U.S. based nonprofit focused on Iranian internet censorship and digital rights, the level of violence by the government is unlike anything I have ever witnessed, Rashidi told LinkedIn, or wrote on LinkedIn. The Islamic Republic is killing to survive. The U.S. based human rights activist news agency reports at least 572 people have been killed and more than 10,600 arrested since protests erupted on December 28th. Iran human rights based in Norway said the real toll could be far higher. Iranian Nobel laureate Shirin Ebadi warned of potential massacre under the cover of sweeping communications blackouts. The nationwide internet shutdown, which started January 8th, has disconnected 85 million Iranians from the outside world. Cloudflare, a major internet infrastructure company, recorded a 98.5 collapse in Iranian internet traffic within 30 minutes of the shutdown starting. NetBlocks, an internet monitoring group, confirmed non-satellite connectivity dropped below 2% of normal levels. Iran has cut internet access 17 times since 2018, according to the Internet Society, a nonprofit that advocates for an open internet. Mohammed Solomon, a technology analyst at the Middle East Institute, a Washington-based think tank, said years of sanctions have left the government with near total control over the internet infrastructure. Of course, yes, that's the sanctions' fault. The level of violence by the government is like anything I have ever witnessed. They're just repeating what dude set up. Further, Tehran has introduced a whitelist system that allows government-aligned media selective access while ordinary citizens remain cut off. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's X account continued posting even as the rest of Iran went dark. So, we're getting to the Starlink part now after all that. Starlink was designed to withstand exactly this kind of censorship. Its thousands of low Earth orbit satellites shifting frequencies and independence from the terrestrial infrastructure made it the ultimate fail-safe for activists, journalists, and militaries operating under blackout conditions. It's not really independent of terrestrial. It's actually they have bases on the ground, but whatever. Anyway, I have Starlink. I'm aware of how it works. I just thought this would be interesting. Russia tried jamming the satellite service in Ukraine starting in 2022, and SpaceX, which operates Starlink, pushed software updates that quickly countered the attacks. Tehran appears to have succeeded where Moscow failed. SpaceX founder Elon Musk shipped terminals to Ukraine after Russia's invasion and activated beams over Iran during the 2022 Masa Amini protests. The service became synonymous with censorship-proof connectivity. Iran has just proved that assumption wrong. The implications extend beyond Iran. In Myanmar, Sudan, and other conflict zones. Are they going to tell me how much Starlink is down here? Conflict zones. Starlink has become critical infrastructure for rebels, aid workers, and journalists. If Iran jamming playbook spreads, that workaround becomes far less reliable. Starlink has not been completely blocked in Iran. Okay, so there we go. All right, yep. Yet Reuters reported on January 12th that no, this is not going to say what I think it is. Users inside Iran confirmed the service still works in some areas, particularly border towns. Okay, so what are we saying here? That it still works. It is still operational, but due to security risks, information is reaching outside the country more slowly. So security risks are what are causing Make this article make sense, guys. Help me out here. Maybe my brain is a little too vaped for this right now. Starlink rely on GPS signals to locate themselves and connect to satellites. By disrupting these signals, Iranian authorities can render the devices unreliable without touching the satellites themselves. When Russia tried similar jamming in Ukraine, SpaceX responded, you've already said this, within hours with software updates that restored service. So far, no such fix has arrived for Iran. SpaceX has not commented on the disruption. Why would they comment? It sounds like it's still being worked. It's still working. On January 12th, that 3 users inside Iran confirmed the service still works in some areas, particularly border towns. Okay, there you go. Like I, I don't know, man. Anyway, so I don't know how these people got Starlink. I don't know if they were trained on how to use Starlink. I don't know if that could have something to do with it. I don't know if they're really actually jamming it. If SpaceX hasn't commented on it, I'm going to hold my tongue for now. All I'm doing is trying to report to you on what this article was supposed to tell me. And it sounds like the bottom line is that SpaceX is still, or Starlink is largely still working in Iran. Maybe not in the city where there's smoke and constant movement and so on. You do have the Starlink minis that are more portable and easy to set up if you know what you're doing. I mean, it's not like for us, we bought it and we had probably 2 years ago, and we had trees to the north. You're supposed to face north. Do these people know it's supposed to face north? I have no idea. So we'll see what happens here, guys. We'll keep an eye out on that. I'm still seeing video after video of things from Iran on X. So the fact that these people are claiming that things aren't working or whatever, then how's this stuff getting to the internet? I have no idea, guys. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing right here. Now, the good news is that, you know, the Iranian people overthrowing the communist Muslim communist whatever the hell regime that they have that they're stuck under now since the 70s. The good news is that will, if they can succeed at this, they'll be able to take back their country, and we won't have to worry about really anything as far as Israel's concerned. They can fend for themselves now because we don't have to worry about Iran. There should be a peace deal here between Gaza and Israel. So the constant handouts to Israel should stop once this is completed. Now, Trump did signal today that there might be something in the works because of what Iran's doing. He said we're not doing talks anymore with Iran, especially with what they've done. And so we'll see what happens there. Now, the people that were attacking Trump for saying, oh, he's just another Obama, people weren't listening to what was said, largely because people were just screenshotting things. Like if I were to screenshot this headline here and just send that out on the internet, they weren't really getting to the meat of what was being asked. They were saying that they would have talks with Iran if they got rid of their enriched uranium, released hostage. There was all these lists of demands that they required before they would talk to the leaders of Iran that are basically about ready to get chased out of the country. And none of these demands would have been met. They just wouldn't have been. And I think they knew that when they put it out there. So at the end of the day, this will just be another win in the Middle East that we didn't even really have to get too involved in. He did tell, a reporter asked, hey, you said you were going to send help for these people if they were getting hurt, killed, blah, blah, blah. And now you've announced that you're going to, help is on the way, basically said in his Truth Social post. And they said, what does that mean? And he says, well, you can figure that out. So they're not broadcasting exactly what they're doing, but I guess we're going to find out sooner than later what they're doing. So this is all great news to me. Anytime Muslim terrorist, weird, like communist like groups like this fall is good for the world and for the area and for us. And we have Iranians here who are refugees that would probably like to go home. At the same time, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio has made it clear that the Venezuelans here, they're not going to be able to go to court to try to stay, stuff. If this country has been reclaimed, and they seem to be working with the Americans right now, as I showed you in yesterday's video, or was it the Sunday video? It might have been the Sunday video where we used weapons that they'd never seen. It sent shockwaves through, southern South America area in our hemisphere. So we're finally becoming a superpower again. We're establishing dominance in our hemisphere. Trump has settled a whole bunch of wars around the world that might have caused more refugees here. That might have ended up with us later down the road having to be involved in these situations with our military, because you know how that goes. So he's doing all these things, and everybody is attacking him for doing all these things. When in reality, oh, he only cares about other countries. No, this all helps us in the long run in multiple ways. Period. If you're too stupid to see that, you're probably too stupid to be on the internet typing. That's where I'm at with people. Anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. It sounds like Starlink is still mostly working there. I don't know how accurate these claims are, if I'm being honest, but here we are. I reported on it for you, and we'll see what happens with Iran in the near future. We'll talk to you all soon.